National tabloids predicted that this year Madonna would have twins, UFOs would land on the White House lawn, and that Michael Jackson would become a TV evangelist. Now, following this impressive line of forethought, comes the first studio album in 2.5 years from Steve Taylor, I Predict 1990. I Predict 1990 from Steve Taylor and some band. Steve Taylor's I Predict 1990 is so moving when it was played at extreme volume to laboratory mice they were visibly affected for weeks. Steve Taylor is back with the music and message only he would dare to create. I Predict 1990 on Murr Records, tapes, and compact discs. Use only as directed. Some kernels may remain unpopped.
Okay, are we rolling? All right. The idea here in this interview is to fool the audience into thinking that I actually flew into your town and am doing this interview with you personally in your studio. And so what we'll do is I've got these little interview segments, and you will add in your voice in between it so that they'll think we're actually doing the interview right there. I mean, this is a great idea, isn't it? In fact, I don't know why someone hasn't thought about this earlier. So this is going to be really good. We'll start going here. And I think we should start off by talking about something kind of easing into this. Like you asked me some questions, and there's been some controversy about the record cover. Maybe you could ask me something kind of funny about the record cover. Okay, go ahead. Oh, it's funny you should ask that. Actually, the record cover was designed by my wife, Debbie, and it was about a month and a half ago. We were in London when we first got the news that there had been some controversy about the record cover. I guess one of the magazines had reported that some retailers were thinking that it looked like a tarot card or something like that. And of course, when we heard about that, we got very depressed because not only do we not know what a tarot card looks like, but I'm not even exactly sure how to pronounce it. So obviously there was no intention of portraying anything from the cover, occultish or a tarot card or anything like that. We originally got the design idea from an exhibition that we went to in Paris on Viennese poster art around the turn of the century. So it's actually a very artistic design. In fact, you'll find a lot of people are actually going out and buying 2 copies of the record, one to keep for themselves and one to send to the Louvre. Okay, so far so good. Now, the main reason that we're doing all this and going all this trouble is, of course, to get your station to play I Blew Up the Clinic Real Good daily. In fact, I'd prefer it if you actually played it, say, every 5th song. So now what you should do is ask me a question about that song, I Blew Up the Clinic Real Good. Something like, Steve, what made you write the song? Okay, go ahead. Wait, hold on. You know, the problem here is that you're not making me into a big enough deal. See, we need to create more of an aura, a mystique about who I am. Make them think you're talking to a big recording star, you know, someone like Dino. So try something like this. Steve, as one of the most dynamic, intellectually stimulating singer-songwriters of the, say, the post-industrial era, what gave you the inspiration to write a song like I Blew Up the Clinic Real Good? All right, go ahead. Oh, you flatter me. Well, the song I Blew Up the Clinic Real Good actually was inspired from my involvement with the pro-life movement. And recently, the pro-life movement had been gaining a lot of momentum, and then it lost some of that momentum recently because some people decided to take the law into their own hands and commit an act like blowing up an abortion clinic. All right, now at this point, you need to interrupt me and be like one of those obnoxious talk show hosts like Oprah Winfrey or someone like that and just say, Steve, wait it, ho, hold it, ho. Hey, you can't tell me that everybody who goes out and blows up an abortion clinic is some wacko who's driving around in an ice cream truck. So, okay, ask me something like that. Okay, and now I'll go ahead and answer that question. Geez, why did I let you ask me this question? Let me think about this. Okay, well, see, I mean, the deal is, no, obviously, I don't believe that everyone who goes out and blows up an abortion clinic is a lunatic Rambo type who, is a macho mid-30s guy and drives around an ice cream truck for a living. But the thing is, we're treading on very thin ice when we start thinking that the end ever justifies the means. When we were playing back this album and we came to this song, and of course in the song is a part where there's a preacher on the corner calling it a crime, says the end don't justify the means anytime. My wife Debbie pointed to that line. She says, if there's a theme to this record, that's it. And I feel like at a time when a lot of us as Americans are starting to think that the end sometimes, it is okay sometimes for the end to justify the means, and that as long as something turns out okay, that it's all right to do something deceitful in order to see something good come out of it. And I start thinking, well, how many times do we tell lies, not only to protect big American interests, but to protect our own personal interests? And can we ever get to a place where we believe that the ends justifies the means? Yeah, there is such a thing as right and wrong, and no, the end doesn't justify the means. And I hope that this generation will have the guts to draw the line. Hey, this is going really good. In fact, the nice thing is I'm sounding a lot more intelligent than I actually am. So to keep going with the flow of this, since it's kind of a college intellectual type of crowd that we're talking to here, why don't you ask me some question about satire and cynicism and, how the lyrics can be intellectually stimulating or something like that. Except don't use so many four-syllable words. Yeah, well, to me, there is a difference between satire and cynicism. People don't really like to get the feeling that they're being preached at and being told what to believe, and so that's why you let them put the moral together in their own mind instead of saying this is how it is. And another good way that I've found of getting the point across is when I actually will do a satirical song and take on an actual character. The third song on the new record is called Since I Gave Up Hope, I Feel a Lot Better. And in it, I am this wide-eyed college freshman who enters maybe the state university and enrolls in an Ethics 101 class and finds out that the ethics professor really doesn't believe that there is such a thing as ethics. His philosophy of life is life unwinds like a cheap sweater, but since I gave up hope, I feel a lot better. And to me, using that setting for the song was a way to communicate how these philosophies of nihilism and existentialism start permeating American thought life to the place where we start living our lives at a lower standard that's based on what the culture expects. Okay, now start the song here. What? It's not even queued up? Okay, no, start the song here so that I start talking and the song comes underneath me. It'll be real professionally done, Okay, I gotta kill time, what? All right, so, gee, it's been really good talking with you, and it's nice being here at your radio studio. There's nice drapes here in the studio. To get them off a Howard Johnson bedspread. So, okay, here we go. So this is my new song, Since I Gave Up Hope, I Feel a Lot Better. Thank you.